Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another MAMG Let's Play of Dream Daddy. So when we left off, we went on a date with Robert, and we whittled some stuff, and then we also saw maybe a crime happen? I don't know. I actually have no idea what we saw. But now, Craig has reached out to us, so we're gonna go running, although it's not Robert-related things, but I want to see everything that this game has to offer, so we're gonna go running. Hopefully it's fun. Have you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? I have not. Should I? Is it worth it? It's called masking tape for a reason. Then what about duct tape? Or duct tape, as some people call it. What is this? The gym just installed these new virtual jogging treadmills. We'll feel like we're running outdoors. You can see the other runners on your screen too. Let's try it out together. Other runners? Will I be able to keep up? Dude. Don't worry, we're here to cheer each other on. I'll be right here with you. Nice. Just get a rhythm going, keep your heart rate up, and don't overexert yourself. You'll do great. What is happening?
Run that dad.
What is... What? I don't understand this at all. Wait, Vernon, Tyler, Joseph, Craig, Susie, Dan, and Greg. There's so many Game Grumps references. What is this? I don't understand. Am I supposed to, like, tap it? Maybe? Oh, this is weird. Does this sound weird? It feels weird. So you have to, like, flick the analog. If you hold it up, then, like, it won't. My BPM is going crazy. Then you'll, like, sputter out, so. Hi, sir. I don't know which one you are, but now that I know how to run, it should be okay. Because I was like, do I need to alternate legs or, like, what am I doing? But, oh my god, I'm freaking out. Who's this? Is this Craig? No, Craig's in front of me. What am I talking about? That's Joseph. Get Joseph. Oh, Allie! There's so many Game Grumps references. Just go. Everything hurts. What is this? How did they make this mini game? I'm just curious. Do you get the eggplant when you're about to pass somebody? This feels like a Mario Kart course. Like, I feel like this is like Koopa Troopa Beach. Okay, you don't get the eggplants when you pass somebody. So what's happening? What's going on? Where are we going? Where are we dropping? Bro! Where is the goal? That's a lot of sweat stuff happening. Alright, now that I know what to do, I'm doing a lot better. Okay. No, stay away! Which way are we? How long is this? Am I just gonna play this for like 20 minutes? Is that what's gonna happen? Bro! Tap it! I don't know if that's the best way to do it or not. Maybe tapping is the worst thing you can do. Is it like a... I take it as like a Mario Kart boost mushroom. I'm just telling you. Everybody is everywhere, and I don't know where I place. I mean, I see that I'm behind Shannon, Susie, Dan, and Craig, but... I've passed more people than like 3. I'm just telling you. Is this it? Are we done? Is this the end? Everything hurts. Personal best. Well, I mean, anything would have been a personal best, but way to go. Thanks, Craig. Thank you so much. I hope you recognize.
You've got dads.
How well I did. Okay. I guess it's time to go with Robert. What was that? Oh, I didn't message him. Here we go. Message and yes. What? What am I? Hang on. Save and continue. There we go. Alright, I still don't know if I'm gonna do all of this in one video or if I should break it up, but we'll see how the flow of the conversation goes, shall we? Let's do it like that. Because last time I felt like it was kind of long, but maybe it's better to just get the third and final situation together. Because, like, Amanda's party is the same, right? Battery depleted. Oh, well, that's not good. Do I need to get a new battery? I apparently do. I don't have anything here. Hang on. I'll be right back. All right, apparently I depleted more batteries than I had initially realized because my backup controller was depleted as well, but it's okay. I've got other stuff I can use. I haven't spoken to Robert since that night we drove out to his thinking spot. He seemed unusually somber then, like more so than the usual amount of somber that Robert is, which is already a lot. I've been thinking about him and hope he's doing okay, but I've been a little reluctant to reach out to him. Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Guess who's getting their drink on tonight? I take a look at my dad book messages. There's a flurry of them from Robert. Yeah, he's like the chain messenger guy. Guess. It's you. Also me, but mostly you. Yeah, dude. I tap back to Robert. Robert, buddy, tonight we ride. Yes. Meet me at Jim and Kim's at 8 p.m. Not that I'm unappreciative, but I think this is the first time that Robert's given me more than an hour's warning before hanging out. Amanda! Amanda pops her head out in the hallway, music I don't recognize blaring from her room. What's up? I'm hanging out with Robert later tonight. Okay, cool. Robert, who is my friend. I have friends. I'm happy for you, Dad. People enjoy my company, Amanda. Dad, I'm so happy for your continued development as a human being. What are you listening to? Sad stuff? What will Grandma think? Well, I don't think she cares for the Smiths that much, but I figure if we started her off on Mita's murder, she'd ease her way into it. No, honey, the language. Oh, she'd hate that. Just promise me you'll lighten up a bit for Grandma? Amanda goes back to her room and turns up the volume to her sad stuff. I put on my going out coat and walk over to Jim and Kim's. I spot Robert leaning against a brick wall smoking a cigarette. As I get closer, I realize that he looks a little different. Cleaner, I guess. It actually seems like he combed his hair and his clothes are less wrinkled than usual. Hey. Hey. You take a shower just for me? I'm working on my relationship with existence. We both stand under there for a second and don't say anything. Robert finishes his cigarette and abruptly goes inside. I follow him. By the time I get inside, Robert's already at the bar ordering 2 whiskeys. I spot a booth in the back and claim it for us. Robert slides in and hands me a glass. To us? Here's to us and all the property damage and petty larceny that we may commit tonight. We clink whiskeys and I watch him sip his, rather than his traditional approach of slamming the whiskey back as quickly as possible. So, what's the plan for tonight? Hit some other bars, maybe grab some pizza. I think that'll kill some time before we go burn down that old abandoned house in the woods. It's definitely not as fun if it's abandoned. Mary pops over to the back of the booth, a glass of wine in her hand. She punches Robert in the shoulder. Where was my phone call? Sorry, figured you were busy sinking your teeth into some poor sap. I am. He's right here. I look around the booth to see a guy sitting across from her. He waves meekly. Ugh. You replacing me with the new kid? Mary, I could never replace you, whether I wanted to or not. Mary leaves her booth as she slides in next to Robert. The guy she was sitting with looks mildly relieved. She eyes Robert's clean pressed clothes up and down, suspiciously. What? You got a court date coming up? He looks handsome. I think he cleans up nicely. Pump the brakes, kid. Aw, I blush a little. Seriously though, what's with you? Robert stares down at his drink, suddenly looking serious. It's Pappy. Doctors say his cirrhosis of the liver. I told the old bag of bones to quit with the sauce, but it's all he's ever known. especially since Mom's gone. That's why I invited you out tonight. Just didn't want to be alone. Oh, come on. Kelly, don't be an a-hole. You know the one thing Robert doesn't joke about is his pappy. Whoops. They're giving him 2 months. I gotta help him straighten out his affairs. Robert, I'm so sorry. Robert takes a long look at his whiskey, eyeing it in the dim glow of the bar's lights. I look at his life, then I look at mine, and I know history is just doomed to repeat itself. Oh my god. I'm just kidding. He's retired with his new girlfriend in Acapulco. They watch the sunset every night, probably screw like donkeys. Wait. Aren't the rabbits the ones that screw a lot? Oh, sorry. Didn't realize you were an expert on which animals screw a lot.
Come on.
Please stop saying the word screw. Robert finishes his drink and slides it away from him. He gets up out of the booth. Me and Kelly are gonna hit the bricks. You coming with? Mary casts one last glance at the sad sap she's been hunting and downs the rest of her wine in one gulp. This place is dead anyways. We exit the bar and find the typically empty street filled with a small crowd of people. At the front is a guy who is with a really deliberate attitude and bad posture. He carries a lantern that he shines up to his face for dramatic effect. What's going on? Looks like it's one of those walking ghost tours. They do that in this part of the town all the time. I've always wanted to do one of those. You know all those stories are fake, right? Pretty much all my stories are fake. This is research. Robert makes a beeline towards the back of the group. He turns around when he notices that I'm not following him. Come on. We can't just crash it, can we? Don't be such a square, Kelly. Just act like you belong. Robert slides up to the tour group. I reluctantly fall in step behind him. Well, here goes nothing. Hey! It was in this place in 1964 that the most infamous witch trials were held. To date, we do not know if the people burned at the stake were actually witches, but it's widely reported that their ghosts still haunt this hapless dive bar to this very day. It was actually 1692.
Nice.
What? And the site was over by the coffee shop down the road. I'm sorry, who are you? Daniel McSturgis, ghost historian. And this is my colleague, Dr. 90s reference. Dr. Prescott, paranormal investigator extraordinaire. We're touring America's most haunted locations as research for a new book. You may have seen our guest cameo on Paranormal House Hunters, Extreme Edition. A couple of people in the group start nodding. Man, Robert's good at this. Are you guys part of the group? I don't remember seeing you at the first stop. We like to keep a low profile. Easier to catch ghosts that way.
Hey, sailor.
They've definitely been here. Been standing next to them the whole time. Thank you, random lady who I do not know. As I was saying, the epicenter of paranormal activity can be found at the Coffee Spoon, over there. The man who runs it's been plagued by hauntings since he signed the lease. Nearly driven him mad. But whatever you want to say is cool, I guess. It's your tour. Man, I didn't know that about Matt. Wait, Robert's making this up. The rest of the tour group listens intently to Robert's every word. I think the tour guide can tell that he's losing the group. He seems to be getting flustered. Thank you for your contribution and knowledge, Mr. McSturgis. Let's move on to the next haunted location. Robert, Mary, and I follow the group down the street. The tour guide's shirt's cool. Yeah, everyone in the group gets one if we make it to the final location. I turn to Robert and grab him by the shoulders. I need that t-shirt. Well, guess we're in it for the long haul then. Just follow my lead. Don't arouse too much suspicion and we'll have cool ghost shirts in no time. Okay. Our group arrives in an old, decrepit colonial-style house.
That's the good stuff.
A quick pause in the tour. My name's Quinn, but most people on the ghost tour circuit call me Tour Master Quinn. I'm DJ, trivia master, and part-time actor.
Hey!
I do private ghost hunting events, birthday parties, MC bar mitzvahs, and perform traditional Valvadilian mime work. Tour Master Quinn gives out headshots to all of us. His resume's on the back. Huh. Stage combat experience. Anyway, here's a little bit of history for you all. This was the home of noted American author Dorothypembridge, whose prose was wildly popular in the late 19th century. It was in the attic of this very home where she wrote such classics as The Diaries of a Victorian Mistress, Lady Fitzwilliam's Courtship, and The Ghost of Sea Captain Reginald Barclay. She unfortunately died of consumption shortly after the turn of the century, but several people have reported that on some nights you can see a light from the attic, where the ghost of Miss Pembridge continues to work on her latest bestseller. I guess you could say that she was consumed by her work.
My feelings hurt.
Okay, no reaction from the crowd. This guy needs to work on his dad jokes. Actually, consumption is the most popular cover-up. Little known fact is that it was a murder-suicide. I'm pretty sure she died of consumption. Sure. And we definitely didn't hire Stanley Kubrick to elaborately fake the moon landing. That's the watered-down, censored version they teach you in school. But if you can't handle the real story, I understand. It's not for the faint of heart. Can we? I think everyone would much rather hear what this world-renowned ghost historian has to say. Right, everybody? The group murmurs in agreement. This is a topic we cover extensively in our book. Dr. Prescott, would you care to tell the story?
All right.
Oh, God. Go with something I know. Yeah. In the 19th century, Dorothypembridge was credited for protecting New York City from potentially world-ending paranormal forces. Despite her success, her ragtag group of ghost hunters were disbanded by government officials. However, after learning that the ghosts of Vigo the Carpathian had taken on interest in her son, her and her ghost, busting, friends launched a mission to defeat the ghost, oh God, and once again save New York City. Hey, isn't that the plot to... Nope, it's not. The tour guide sees this as an opportunity to take back the group and addresses us with some razzle-dazzle. Haha, what an interesting story! Now, I just want everyone to know that the next location is extremely terrifying. If anyone thinks they can't handle it, feel free to excuse yourselves. Alright, I'm bored. Mary turns to a young guy looking at his phone and taps him on the shoulder. Hey, kid, fancy buying a gal a drink? The guy looks up at her and smiles. Only if the bar's haunted. Honey, I can show you the most haunted place in town. I think I could exorcise your demons, if that's what you're looking for. Don't write checks you can't cash, kid. His eyes go wide. Mary salutes me and Robert. She suddenly pulls me into a hug and murmurs into my ear. When you've known Rob for as long as I have, you know when something's wrong. Keep an eye on him for me tonight, okay? Sure, Mary. Good man. Mary pats me on the back and pulls away. She takes the guy's hand and leads him down the street. Take it sleazy, fellas. God help that poor soul. Mary or the kid? Both. Yeah, like they're both gonna need help. Our last stop. This burial ground is such a hotbed for horrifying paranormal activity that I'm not even sure where to begin. There's the wailing ghosts of the Wharfmen, the vampire of Maple Bay, the children of the moonlight. What about the Dover ghost? By this point, the tour guide is clearly irritated with us.
Sad Master Quinn.
What about it? Oh, nothing. I just think it would be a crime to come all the way to the cemetery, the actual origin of the one of New England's most notorious paranormal entities, and not even mention the infamous Dover ghost. That's not a real thing. That's absolutely not a real thing. I think someone needs to brush up on their paranormal history. I know tons about paranormal history. I know every ghost story in this area. I can guarantee you there's one that you don't know. Robert looks over at me and smiles. Would you folks care to hear the tale of how Prescott and I met? No. The entire group shushes the tour guide. Okay, fine, tell the story. Well, it was a dark and stormy night. It wasn't always a paranormal investigator, or I wasn't. Way back then, I was just
That's the good stuff.
Traveling grifter. Moving from town to town, I was always looking for my next mark. It wasn't an easy life, but I had fun. Taking from the rich, giving to the poor, actually, also taking from the poor. I had a shaky moral foundation. I happened upon a quiet town of Maple Bay by accident. But little did I know what the city had a dark side. Now, about the same time, I was just starting out as an apprentice to a rather famous ghost hunter who was an old family friend of mine. I carried the equipment, operated the EVP machine, all that. Wait. Yes? Who was the famous ghost hunter? Well, I don't like to name drop, but Georgia Mathers. The tour group gasps.
Ah!
Georgia Mathers? She's a legend. You know her? Knew her. Amazing woman. Died mysteriously. Miss you, Georgie.
Hey.
Anyway, we were in Maple Bay investigating some reports of strange lights and sounds coming from the cemetery late at night. Now, we had been warned by the old crypt keeper that this place was highly dangerous, but Georgia was never one to shy away from an adventure. We camped out in the center of the cemetery for 3 nights straight. We endured your so-called wailing watchmen. Wailing ghost of the wharfman? Whatever. Your stupid vampire was just a teenager in a mask, but the Dover ghost? Man, tell him Prescott. So, there I was, just walking back to my hotel after a long day of working a couple short cons. Classic pigeon drop scam, putting out feelers for a rip deal. I was going to steal a baby, probably, would have made me rich. I found myself walking past this very cemetery. Now, I was never a very superstitious man, but something seemed off. I could hear some sort of commotion happening deep within the graveyard, and I felt compelled to investigate. And thank God you did. Georgia and I were conducting a seance in the mausoleum. First, things were pretty normal, but after about an hour, everything went south. Playing back the EVP meter, we were able to hear a single word. Run. The air suddenly went cold. Something was very, very wrong. I just knew we weren't alone. I started to hear this faint, distant scraping noise, like something being dragged across the ground. It got louder and louder until it was deafening, some kind of demented howl. And then I felt it, someone, something, grabbing my ankle. Robert has the whole crowd, hook, line, and sinker. You could hear a pin drop. I've only cried twice in my life. Once at the birth of my daughter. The other was when that thing started dragging me. I wasn't sure where it was taking me, but I knew it was no place I wanted to go. I was sure I was going to die. The moment I crossed the gate into the cemetery, I heard this god-awful screeching. I ran into the mausoleum just in time to see a man being pulled across by the floor by... God. To this day, the mere thought of it ties my stomach into knots. It looked like a man, but like... I glanced at Robert. Like, someone who didn't know what a man was supposed to look like tried to put one together. The arms were too long. Its eyes glowed red. It was like a walking shadow. What'd I do? What any good person would do. I lunged for... Shoot. What was his fake name again? Oh, God. Oh, no. I forgot. I actually forgot what his name was. Is there a way to pull up the... No. Daniel? David? Daniel. I grabbed his hand and entered into a tug of war with the unholiest of forces. I thought I was going to be torn in half. But I had God on my side. The pocket Bible I was kept on me fell out of my shirt pocket. And to this day, I can remember what passage it opened up to. Austin 3:16. I want to, but no. Leviticus. And if thy oblation to meat offering, bacon in a pan, it shall be fine flour unleavened mingled with oil. Not exactly relevant, but true. I have no idea where Robert pulled that verse from. With a horrifying growl, the entity finally relented. Daniel and I collapsed onto the ground, exhausted. We were both covered in blood. That creature clawed into my chest. He got me real good. Had to get 16 stitches. Robert pulls his collar of his shirt down to reveal a long, wicked scar across his pecs. And that's how I got this scar. I followed Georgia Mathers to the ends of the earth. We faced exorcisms, demons, poltergeists that threw our equipment across the room, but I had never seen Georgia so scared. She was never the same after that, and neither was I. Watching what happened to Daniel and Georgia shook my faith. but I came out of the experience a better man and a better friend. And we've been brothers ever since. The tour group gives us a round of applause as Robert and I share an emotional hug. As he embraces me, I can smell the cologne on his neck. Wow, Robert does clean up good. I find myself lingering a little too long on the hug. The tour guide seems to have bought it. He's even wiping tears from his eyes. Thank you, thank you. It's an honor to be able to share our story. Be sure to watch out for our book. I saw a demon, the shocking true story of seeing a demon. Sure. Robert has to suppress a laugh at that one. Well, I think you both definitely earned your t-shirts. The tour guide hands us some coveted shirts. He then slips us both in, his business card and leans in close.
Hey!
If you guys are ever in need of a professional actor, balloon animal artist, Elvis impersonator, or nude model, don't hesitate to contact me.
Hey.
You got it, buddy. After a couple of tourists take selfies with us, we split away from the group and walk home. That was incredible. I really can't believe they bought all of that. I didn't know you had it in you, Kelly. Excuse me, Dr. Prescott. That bit about the pocket Bible was aces, although giving the Dover ghost glowing red eyes was a little cliche. And the cubic conspiracy theory isn't? All part of the character. Well, we got the shirts out of it. We arrive in front of Robert's house. Want to have a drink? Yeah, is that even a question? Robert, how long have you known me for? Do you really think I would turn down the opportunity to share a fine alcoholic beverage with my treasured friend and accomplice, Mr. Bobbert Small? If you ever call me Bobbert again, I will kick you right in the shins. Both of them. Then you can expect an angry phone call from my orthopedist in the morning. Bobbert. Bobbert just laughs and starts unlocking the door. My shins live to die another day. Robert leads me inside. I can't help but think about what Mary said to me. Robert did seem a little off, but that completely disappeared when we were joking about the ghost tour. Okay, you know what? I know this episode's probably not going to be fully 30 minutes, but I do feel like there's going to be more to this. I feel like we're going to learn a lot more about Robert because he hasn't really opened up to us like we had with Matt and Chad, right? We haven't had that moment where he's just kind of like, this is what I need. I need you in my life. So hopefully the next episode isn't too short, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. Hopefully you didn't get too scared. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's play.